How's it going, everyone? We have got a brand new patch for Helldivers 2, and while this is once again labeled as a small patch or a minor patch, there's a lot of things noted in this patch, so definitely a lot of things to dissect and a lot of things have been altered, balancing changes, everything like that is dropping with this patch. Remember, we are just a few short days away from the release of the cutting edge war bond as well, so that'll be adding a new layer to the game on top of that. So a lot of reason to be excited about the game. Yesterday we talked about various smaller things noted by the CEO. You can check that video out if you do want. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. Let's talk patch 1.000.102. Good day, citizens of Super Earth. A new patch to aid you in your efforts is coming in. May Super Earth give you courage. Overview: today's patch is dealing with spawn rate of heavily armored Terminid enemies, as well as the possible play against them. It also contains some fixes to UI elements and crash fixes. So right off the top, balancing. A lot of changes here, and this is going to directly affect gameplay. Enemies. The amount of heavily armored targets that spawn on higher difficulties, especially for Terminids, have been a big discussion point online and internally. The intent is for groups to bring some form of anti-tank capability, but not to the degree previously needed. To that end, we have reduced the spawn rate of Chargers and Bile Titans on difficulty 7 and up. In addition, we have reduced the risk of spawn spikes of Chargers and Bile Titans. Please note that we have changed the distribution of enemy types, not reduced difficulty. Expect other enemy types to appear in greater numbers instead. So the actual difficulty wasn't adjusted, the quantity of the spawns for those specific enemy types were altered, but at the same token, they will be replaced by other enemies of other enemy types. So it'll be interesting to see how they alter the gameplay design as far as that's concerned, but an interesting way to alter the balancing. Please note that we have changed the distribution of enemy types, not reduced difficulty. Expect other enemy types to appear. We are humbled by the community's ability to find things like Charger's leg meta in our game. However, spending your heavy anti-tank weapons on legs instead of the obvious weak points seems counter to expectation. We are not changing anything regarding the Charger's legs. However, we are lowering the health of the Charger's head. It should now be a point where a well-placed shot from the recoilless rifle, or EAT-17, instantly kills a Charger. Together with the unfortunately undocumented change of last patch that increased the armor pen ability of less well-placed shots for EAT-17s and recoilless rifle shots, Chargers should now be easier to handle by well-equipped groups. Gameplay changes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. Electronic countermeasures operation modifier, which had a chance of giving you a random stratagem instead of the one you input, has been removed in order to be reworked and will be reintroduced in a future iteration. We found that this modifier wasn't communicated clearly enough and overall caused more frustration than excitement with the way it was currently implemented. This change was made in 1.00.1, but it was unintentionally omitted from the patch notes. Fixes. Fix some missing text on several HUD and UI elements. Fix several subtitles, VO mismatches in news videos. Fix various crashes that occurred mid-gameplay and when deploying to missions. So those are the updates and what they outline in the patch as far as everything that they want to be clear about. Sometimes they want to slyly do some things, and also sometimes they, as noted in this patch, just forget to note some things that are altered in the game. But quite a lot of changes, balancing notes, and if you are playing on harder difficulties, a lot of these changes are really going to be applicable to your gameplay. If you're playing on a lower difficulty, that hasn't been altered too much as far as the spawn rate of those various enemies. But on top of that, given that the spawn rate of Chargers and Bile Titans on difficulty 7 and up has been altered, and on top of that, the Charger's weak point and as well as now headshots to the Charger are going to be altered as well. That is applicable to all difficulty ranges because, you know, as far as the leg meta goes, which is fine. If you wanted to do the leg meta, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but they did want you to focus on the weak point of the head. So now it looks like that is going to be where you do want to target at higher difficulties, and that's also applicable to lower difficulties as well. So those are the changes being rolled out with the patch 1.000.102. Now they also have a list of known issues, so let's talk about those. Game crashes when attempting to use a stim while inside an exosuit. Pink artifacts may appear in the sky when setting off large explosions. Automaton dropships seemingly seemingly disappear and slides in after being shot down. Shards from arc-based weapons may not count towards kills in post-mission stats. Players cannot unfriend other players' befriend via friend code. I believe I saw that in the last patch notes as well, so it looks like they're still working on that. Cross-platform friend invites might not show up in the friend request tabs. Players may be unable to select the loadout or return to the ship when joining a multiplayer game session via PS5 activity card. I believe I saw something related to the PS5 activity card as far as an issue in the previous patch notes as well, so it looks like that is causing some issues. The exosuit can destroy itself with rockets if it fires while turning on. Text chat box's display is obstructed by the cinematic letterboxing during extractions, and some people are unable to accept friend requests. This is mostly an issue cross-platform. Seems like a lot of the issues are just tied to cross-platform play, so hopefully they continue to get better. I know some of you guys just outright turn cross-platform play off, but given that that is one of the beneficial aspects of the game, and one aspect I do appreciate, wish that cross-platform play would be a common standard. Even if it does here and there cause some issues with games, it should be a standard across games. And I look at something like Star Wars Battlefront Collection that's coming up, it's like, guys, how much bigger would that game be? And that game is gonna be big, but how much bigger would it be if it had cross-platform play and just longevity in terms of the player base? When, you know, these multiplayer-centric games, especially something like Helldivers 2, which is gonna get several updates, it is what it is with Battlefront Classic Collection. Like, it's a collection of 2 older titles, but still, it should have cross-platform play. It would be great if it did have cross-platform play. You know, that would just be beneficial. And even if you do want to turn it off with Helldivers 2, give you the option. That is what I always ask for. Just, even if it causes some issues here and there, give the players the option. If they want to do cross-platform play, they can do cross-platform play. If they don't want to do it, they can turn it off. The game reception, I do want to note before I round out this video, the Steam reception has kind of stabilized. It's sitting at very positive reviews, 215,000 reviews all time, 82% positive reviews all time. Recent reviews is 197,000 reviews, 82% all time. Now, recent reviews is the last 30 days, so that goes back to right around where there still was server issues, so keep that in mind. And right now, as I'm recording this video in the morning, 187,000 concurrent players. Not a bad number. Obviously, it's not going to be sustainable at like north of 400,000 on Steam, or even high 300,000s. It'll go up and down as big content updates drop. It'll go up as people are doing content. It'll go down. That's the nature of the beast. Guys, there's several games on the market. Helldivers 2 just came out. There's a lot of big games coming out, and there's gonna be people that want to go play other games. There's people that want to jump to PS5 and play FF7 Rebirth, or they want to play the upcoming Dragon's Dogma 2. It's the nature of the beast. I don't think that says anything about the game quote-unquote dying, as I open up the community page, and the first thread that is being promoted is, this is a 3-week game for most, already unlocked practically everything at level 48, played the same missions countless times. This is why the population will be done in a few more weeks unless they add more content. Well, that is the case of video games. And hey, if you get 3 weeks and you get X amount of hours, let's say that dude put in like 50 to 70 hours of gameplay, 50 to 70 hours of gameplay for $40 is gonna get more content. That is confirmed. But like, bro, you got your money's worth. Like, sometimes I wonder, what do you guys expect out of these $40 games? To give you 3 million hours of content? Yes, it's a live service game. It'll continually get updated, but at some point you are going to exhaust the content that is available at any given time if you're playing this game as if it's your second job. So just keep that in mind. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. New patch, jump in, divers, and you got a lot to do ahead of the cutting edge war bomb. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.